right, so there is literally no way that I would let Paul role play for me and still be armed, because that's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So just know that for the future, because we're gonna be doing more scenarios this afternoon and really tomorrow. If you took this from someone because he's bleeding and you need to have it if he's bleeding, here's an option for you that you can retain it. Yeah, you can throw it in your pocket or whatever. But if I'm gonna be on the ground, maybe I'm working on somebody, if I can keep him from pulling that trigger, that's gonna keep me from getting shot. So tuck it behind your leg and drop your body weight on it. You're gonna pin it. John, give that a tug real quick. It's possible to get out, but man, I'm gonna know it, and I'm probably gonna hit him in the face. But this keeps you from having the issue of, well, I'm gonna set it here, I'm gonna work on my guy right here. Do not presume that it's gonna stay there, exactly. People are ridiculous, I'm telling you. We're kids, guys. There was kids here earlier, right? What if this was a real gun, you just set it down, and little Jimmy comes over and just accidentally shoots somebody or himself? That's on you. So retain it. That could look a bunch of different ways, but this is one option. It keeps that trigger covered. It also keeps the slide from actuating. It's gonna keep you safer. Another thing you could do, if you had to, temporarily, is stand on it as you're working. Same idea. You're just keeping it from leaving and you're keeping the trigger covered, right? Questions on that? Okay, this also doesn't take any prior knowledge of firearms. That's the real benefit. So if you go home and maybe you've got a spouse or a child or a family member and they're just not into guns and you're trying to demonstrate things for them, you don't have to be into guns to do this. It's easy. Here's another thing you gotta do. Alert the rest of your team that there's a gun in play. I haven't told you why anyone is injured. We don't know who he is. So don't make these presumptions where he's good or bad. Nope, everyone is neutral. You're gonna render aid because you're trying to do the right thing. But don't get hurt trying to be the good guy and trying to help. We've talked about that you get confused when you lose blood. He cannot keep that if he had an arterial wound, which is what we simulated on his neck. He will be confused to a point of danger, okay? Now, if you take that gun, if you retain that gun, you also get the benefit that if there is somebody that's a problem or a danger around here, now you have a gun.
And you don't have to use your own to do it.
Right, and you guys didn't have one. So like, this was the only gun in play.
I tried.
She's like, I'm drawing, but I don't have anything to draw and I don't have a hand. Yeah, so these are options to give you. I've had people ask, hey, do you recommend that we like disassemble it? No, that is a fantasy from a movie. You're never gonna do it. You guys are having trouble turning windlasses. You think you're gonna disassemble some random gun? No. What you could do, we have people bring this up, if you're really, really fluent in how to use a handgun, you might empty it, maybe. But now you don't have that one gun that you acquired if there is a danger, so there's a trade-off. Yeah, it takes it out of action. Make sure you at least retain that magazine. But who's to say that Paul doesn't carry more than one magazine? And maybe you do the same thing. You just set it down. It's like, cool, it's unloaded. We're good now. And he just comes over and he's still a hazmat, right? Or I could just hit you with it. It's still a weapon. I just don't get to shoot it. Any questions? Good reaction, guys. You're like, we don't have anything to fight back with. There's really two options. You either run away or you run to him. That's the options. Okay? Good job.